What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Zamboni. I'm a musician and astrologer, and it is time to talk about the astrology of the week ahead. As always, I thank you so very much for being here. Thank you for rocking with me day after day, week after week. Thank you for sending this to a friend. If you enjoy this kind of content, thank you for sending me a tip via Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. That is extremely helpful to me. Thank you for going to zambonifunk.com and getting a reading. Thank you for going to synchronicityuniversity.com and checking out the course that I've got coming up on how to use astrology effectively. That is going to be a fun time. That's a 5-week course. We're going to talk about what astrology is and how we can make it more useful in our lives. That's going to be a fun time. Thank you for going to zambonifunk.com and finding all of these things, as well as finding the music there. You can check out the music on Spotify, Tidal, Pandora, Apple Music, YouTube, wherever you like to get your music at. I am super, super proud of the music. I think that you will enjoy it if you go listen to it. Thank y'all for watching the drum video that I put up recently. I was really proud of that. And thanks for checking that out. Thanks for doing all of these things and rocking with me day after day. Let's talk about the astrology of the week ahead. This week, we got a big week coming up here. I don't know that I like it very much. So the main things that we've got going on here, so Pluto has moved into Aquarius, right? And so now we are doing introductions to Pluto in Aquarius. We've already seen the Sun conjunct Pluto, although that was at the very last degree of Capricorn, whatever. We had a new moon in Aquarius, and that was closely conjunct, or it was like there with Pluto, and then we the square to Uranus. We've had Mercury conjunct Pluto. That has been, I was talking about secrets and this kind of thing. It's interesting to see just the news has been pretty wild, as far as who's talking to who and how, what kinds of voices are coming out and this kind of thing. There's a lot of stuff going on there. And so I would definitely expect some more secret reveal kind of situations going on this week, especially since Mercury's moving pretty quick at this point, which is typically pretty good for Mercury things. So if you're in a place where you're doing your taxes or doing any of the kind of Mercury communications or math or sorting things or making things intelligible in some kind of way, this is actually a pretty good week to be doing that kind of thing. Running your numbers, running your spreadsheets and this kind of stuff. Mercury looks pretty strong right now. Mercury is in Aquarius, also moving quickly. Sometimes Mercury can be a little close to the sun like this, but honestly, we're in pretty good shape as far as Mercury is concerned. This is good for tech kind of things. This is a good time to re-up your information situation and to maybe change your relationship to robots or AI or this kind of thing. This is a good moment for, while Mercury is moving super quick, this week, we're also going to see a square to Uranus and Taurus. And so all of that innovation and experimentation and changes, this is a really good time to try something. And one of my favorite things about Uranus is the experimental bit of things, right? And so sometimes you got to remember that your experiments sometimes fail. I just did a reading for somebody. It was rough. This person was looking at Uranus and Taurus being a major signifier for their career situation. And so what they had done is they had left an old job that was secure and stable for some kind of fast money situation, and then it didn't work out, and then they were kind of bereft afterwards. So sometimes your experiments fail, and that's part of what experimentation is, right? But what you can do a lot of times, and especially with Mercury here, we can get some good learning done. We can get some lessons learned. We can get some information about the nature of the world that we actually live in, especially as this world is changing. There might be some questions about what is real, what's true, this kind of thing. So this is a very good time for leaning into that information. This is also probably a good time especially with that square to Uranus, this is a good time for the experimentation. It's also a good time to look back on whatever experiments have been going on and make whatever information you have gotten from that intelligible or actionable in some way. This looks helpful for that kind of thing. The thing is, at the same time that Mercury is making this square to Uranus, then we also, and so whenever we see Mercury square Uranus, we might see surprising journalism or unexpected stories to come out, right? Those are just straight Uranus and Mercury where you just put them together, right? So we might see some kind of surprising situation going on in the news media of some sort. This is at the same time that Mars is moving from Capricorn into Aquarius. And then a little bit later, Venus is going to move from Capricorn into Aquarius. Now, when they do that, they're going to move into an immediate conjunction with Pluto at 0 degrees of Aquarius. I don't much like a Mars-Pluto conjunction. Mars-Pluto, the last time we had a hard aspect between Mars and Pluto, it was October 7th. And so that was when Hamas attacked Israel and took a bunch of hostages and shit like this. And then there's been all type of wild fallout from that. It's not good. I don't like it. I don't like it. This is not a situation that I like. So Mars is the action planet. Mars is warring. Pluto is going to take telescopes and microscopes, take something that is extremely small and make it into something very big, molehills into mountains. It can also go the other direction, but I don't think that that's what we're going to see this week. I think we're going to see small things turning into wild flashbang moments, especially since we also see that Mercury square Uranus at the same time. We can expect some kind of, I would expect extremely clickbaity headlines throughout this time. You know what I mean? Even so, I would expect crazy things to go on, and maybe including explosions or wartime dynamics of some sort. And then I would also expect exaggeration in the media. I would not. This is a real tough time to be trusting media outlets. I don't like it. I don't like what's going on here. We can also see that Venus, who rules Taurus, is going to, a few days after Mars moves into Aquarius, then Venus is going to move into Aquarius and make that same conjunction to Pluto. So Uranus and Taurus is going to be unexpected or surprising shifts of some sort, and Venus is ruling that, and then Venus is going to be right there with Pluto, and we've got Pluto, the fun house mirror is one of my favorite Pluto images, right? It's distorted in some kind of way, especially when I think about Venus and Pluto together. I think about jealousy or obsession, or there's a kind of neurosis around body image can show up, or relationship dynamics in some way, feeling super upset about the way that somebody said something, or the kinds of dynamics that we find ourselves involved in, and this kind of thing. It's a little bit, it's rough. It's rough. It's not a comfortable situation, especially on the geopolitical scale. On the more personal scale, this does look like a moment where that can be extremely empowering, especially if you are willing to engage with some of the scary stuff in some kind of way. Sometimes there is, Pluto can maybe be associated with buried treasure and this kind of thing, right? Stuff that has been hidden or occulted. It's down underneath the surface in some way. And, people sometimes point to, what's that guy's name? Warren Buffett has a major Pluto situation in his chart. I think he's got a Jupiter-Pluto conjunction in Leo. And so there's a certain element of massive wealth and treasure that can be associated with Pluto. So if we think about Venus, who's a benefic, as being conjunct Pluto, then there is an opportunity here for an amazing connection in some kind of way, a connection that might be out of this world in some kind of way, you might get a twin flame kind of dynamic here. I do a lot of readings for people who have twin flames, and there's a sense of knowing each other beyond space and time in this kind of situation, right? Those relationships can be kind of rocky and wild and dynamic sometimes, right? And you might not necessarily always understand what's going on, and part of the not understanding what's going on is what makes it so outstanding in the first place. So there's a little bit of danger here, but opportunity for treasure, opportunity for something that is deeper and more exciting than normal. The same is true when it comes to Pluto or Mars-Pluto dynamics. There's an opportunity for strength and power with this kind of situation. This is probably a good time to, especially if you've already got some kind of exercise practice going on, this is a good time to lean hard into that. Give yourself that extra space to sweat, to move something heavy, to do something difficult in order to put this to use. Remember what your goals are and keep your eyes on that. Don't spend too much time listening to the information is not clear. We will come back and understand the information later. So if you are not involved in a firefight, then maybe don't start one. Thank you so much for being here. Check out ZamboInfo.com.